during that injection period, I think it was every 3 days, I would go in to see the progress, to see if, they're growing. The follicles are building, they're growing. So the first time I went was when I received the first shock. They told me that my ovaries was not producing as much as they would have expected for my age, that I should have had quite a lot, maybe up to 10, 12. But for me, at the first time of stimulation, they could only see about 4. So they were like, okay, right. Okay, that's a sign there. And before then, when they did one of my blood tests, actually, they told me that it's normal for my age, that my ovarian reserves were low, but that was normal for my age, hence why they always encourage like having children as early as you can, because once you start to hit like your mid-30s and over 35, obviously these people, I believe the report of the Lord, not the report of man, but so far that was what was said to me. I was quite devastated at the time, I'm not gonna lie, I was quite devastated, like all this injecting myself and doing all this, only to find out that my ovaries weren't producing as fast as we wanted them to. So gave me more stimulation, and then I had to go back again, and it produced a little bit more. Then obviously I had to go back again, and it produced a little bit more, but this time the eggs were getting bigger, so they had to harvest. So we got to the harvesting stage now.
I'm going to bed. We're waking up very early tomorrow, and we are setting off to Southampton for the procedure. It'll take you along with me. I'm feeling quite anxious. I'm quite worried, but we're being positive.
I'll be looking after you here, and then when you come back from the surgery afterwards until you go home, I will be along soon, talk you through everything.
Yeah.
All right, but just relax.
Okay, so I don't need to change now then?
If you want to, if you're going to be more comfortable with your nice warm dressing gown on, please do. Fastenings go out to the back. You can keep your bra on, and even your little t-shirt. Just take your bottom half off.
Okay, just bottom half. Thank you. So I've just come back from the egg collection. Quite a lot of pain. There's a suppository up my bum, but that should help with the pain. I will let you know how we get on with the rest of it. Fingers crossed that goes well.
And in the harvesting stage, is where they would get you in. So we call that harvesting stage egg retrieval stage. So during the egg retrieval stage, you would have to go in, and when you go in, you would have to speak to one of the nurses. They'll prep you, and when they prep you, they'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to give you local anesthetic. They're going to give you a relaxant as well, so that they can harvest the eggs. And like I said to you before, then obviously they were checking to see if I had enough eggs and it was ready. And at this time, I was very devastated because on my final check, they were ready, and there was about, was it 6 to 8 of them. And then when it was time to harvest, which is the egg retrieval, they couldn't harvest much. And that made me so devastated. They only was able to harvest, actually good English, they were only able to harvest 4 guys. So they've done all this, put me to sleep, done this procedure, and only took 4 eggs out. I was devastated. Absolutely devastated. I literally was crying my eyes out. I was like, only 4? All that hard work, all that pain, all that injecting myself, all that looking bloated, all that feeling sick, all that headache, all that pains. There were pains in my hips, guys. There were pains in my, this is going to be graphic, but I'm going to say there was pains in my anus. I'll be at work and I'll be speaking to a patient, and then suddenly I would have to go like that and pretend with the patient. I'll be like, yeah. Listening to what the patient is telling me, but my backside was spasming like this. And it was the most painful experience ever. I'd never experienced that before. So obviously during egg retrieval, they still say to you, so after they told me they only found 4, I was devastated. They literally said to me, oh, you only need 1, Elizabeth. You only need 1. So don't panic. You only need 1. So obviously we go hopeful and thinking again, okay, we only need 1. One of those eggs needs to just become an embryo, or 2 or 3. I was saying all 4. That was me. I was being positive and I was like all 4. So obviously you go back home, you still carry on another procedure, which is you still inject yourself and then you put something up inside you, the front way this time. And so you put a pessary up, and you have to put that pessary up 3 times a day. Oh my God. The most annoying phase ever is to 3 times a day put something right up you when you are even at work. The IVF process is so stressful, guys. I'm not gonna lie. There's a blip, and I said it in my earlier video, there is trauma attached to IVF, because not only are you doing all these things, you're so anxious, you're trying to be hopeful, you're trying to stay positive, and you're still trying to do all these things and have a life and work and build your relationships and still pretend like everything's okay. It is not the easiest journey to go through, guys. It's not the easiest journey. So we had the waiting period where we had to wait for the sperm to fertilize the egg, which is the in vitro journey. The sperm fertilizes the egg. You have to wait for the both of them, the combination to grow, to form into a cell, and then grows into an embryo before they insert it back inside the woman, basically. So whilst you're waiting for that, you are then doing all these processes where you're preparing your body. Basically, you're preparing your womb, you're preparing your body, you're having enough progesterone inside you so that the baby can be able to have a good environment to grow and build. So as you're putting those pessaries, you're having those painful injections, and you're doing all of that, and you're doing all of that, and you're doing all of that.
Hey guys, next update is obviously we're waiting for the embryologist. They phoned us on Saturday to give us a good news. Mixed news. I did have a bit of a cry, I'm not gonna lie. I was just like, God, just 1 egg. How are we gonna, because you already know your chances when you're doing these things, isn't it? You want more chances with eggs. So just 1, and so now we're waiting. All that hard work, all that injecting, all that inserting pessary 3 times a day. It's just like, God, please don't let it be in vain. This thing is emotionally and mentally draining. It literally drains your whole mind. So right now we're nervous. We've been waiting. I've actually even phoned them, because on Saturday they called me in the morning and now they haven't even phoned. I'm so scared. I'm like, did that 1 egg do? Maybe it didn't. It's just sad, but thought I'll give you an update and let you know what's going on.
And then it got to the stage where it was time to put it inside me. You know, and that was the stage that broke my heart the most, because none of those eggs made it to only 1 made it to the last stage of the day that it was supposed to go inside me. And as we arrived to the venue was when, you know, It is painful, guys. It is the most painful thing, the most painful thing that you could ever experience, where you get told that that's where your journey ends, and they're really sorry. You know, all those eggs, all that sperm mixed with all those eggs, and I only had one baby, and that one baby just didn't make it anymore. And so that's what hurt the most. I think that was the one that hit me like a brick. And I just really struggled. Bless him, my partner at the time, he really struggled with it as well, because that's technically the second child that we had lost together. Yeah, it was really hard, really hard. And yeah, and I think everything just went down spiral after that. Everything went down spiral. We tried, but we didn't make it. And it was dark for me. It was dark. It was a dark place. And it just led to every other thing breaking. Literally every other thing just broke. But I'm here. I'm standing. I'm grateful. I'm strong. I'm wiser. And this is why I do these vulnerable moment videos, because these are journeys of life that we all go through, but yet we don't really want to talk about it, or we don't want to talk about it because of the pain that is attached to it, or maybe because we feel ashamed that as a woman, or we women feel ashamed that our bodies didn't do what we wanted to do. Because to be fair, like I was speaking with my friend in America, because she was on her own IVF journey, and that was successful, which was great. And we both had time to talk about it, and we both had time to share how we felt. And she was a bit ahead of me, so that was good. But you know, you just feel like my body has failed me, because I wanted it to work. But at the end of the day, moving forward, sometimes you just like, you know what, every journey in life, I would be grateful, because fast forward a year or two, I'm like, maybe that was a good thing. Maybe that was good that we didn't have the baby. Maybe that was good that I wasn't a mom at the time. Maybe that was good that my first marriage failed. Maybe that was good that I'm not with my partner anymore. Because when you start to move ahead, and you start to forge ahead, you start to realize that the journey that you're going, in a way, these things had to happen to propel me further, to make me become a better human being, and make me more in tune with my body, because I'm more in tune with my body, I'm more in tune with myself now. And I'm super grateful for that. I'm super grateful, because I'm more in tune with how I'm feeling emotionally, mentally, spiritually as well. And I'm just so grateful for that. I'm just going to check that I've not missed out any other thing else. Okay, yes. Oh, the other key point before I go is you also have to get tested for chlamydia, and you also have to do a blood check for rubella, and then the hormone test. That's two important things you need to do anyway when you're doing IVF. Yes, I also talked about the blood groups, but I missed out the chlamydia and rubella. You have to do that anyway for you to get approval. It's just the standard in the UK. I heard that the standard in America, like IVF, can take up to four months process or so. For us in the UK, to be fair, it only takes about 2-3 months. Actually 2 months for the whole blood test, for the deregulation of your hormones, for the other tests to check that everything like your blood groups and blood types are okay, for the other health checks, and then for you to start injecting yourself, and then for you to start using the both injections, the one that stimulates the ovaries and make them pop out like popcorns. All that journey and process before they put it back inside you can take up to two months, 2.5. I think I would say 2 months. It can take up to 2 months in the UK, and then obviously if you're successful with the egg retrieval and one of the eggs becomes a little embryo, that goes back into your body as the woman, and then you carry on using your pessary for 5 more weeks. You carry on injecting yourself. You carry on actually injecting yourself for just over a week, and then you carry on using your pessaries for 5 more weeks, 5 to 7 weeks actually. Mine was 7 weeks. 7 weeks of that. My goodness. And it doesn't work. You go mad. You're like, what the hell? My God, this is horrible. But I'm laughing about it now. I didn't laugh about it in 2022, nor 2023. But this is 2024. I'm in a much better place. I'm happier now. I'm hopeful. I can't lose God, because my friends were such a support system, support network, that they literally said to me, Elizabeth, do you know how many people they fail IVF once, fail IVF second time, fail IVF third time, and still carry on, and then have. But I just felt really traumatized with IVF, and I just felt like I can't physically do that again. I just can't. It's just me. I'm a soft life girl, so I can't handle stress. Too much stress I can't handle. So I guess one IVF experience is good enough for me. So guys, I hope I have helped, and this series will probably be a 2-part series, and this will be the part 2 that you're watching anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate your time with me. I do appreciate you sticking to the very end. To any of my subscribers who are sticking with me to the very end of my videos and watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I love you for the support. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Share it with someone who has either been on an IVF journey or is on an IVF journey. Share it with them, encourage them, and let them know that to just keep going, keep striving, don't give up, don't stop, just keep pushing. If they're in any other country apart from the UK, do ask them to find out how it works. I have heard that it works differently in different countries. Some countries are cheaper than others. I hear that it's actually cheaper in other parts of Europe, so i.e. Cyprus. I hear it's cheaper there, so that could be another place that you could go if you want to. What else do I need to tell you about IVF in the UK? That's it. As long as you have a very good GP and a very good support system, it should be fine. Once you're over 35, I'm afraid you would have to pay. And that was the other thing they told me. They told me if I wanted to do another IVF, it would cost me around about £22,000 to £27,000. And I was like, £22,000 to £27,000? That's a mortgage. That is a mortgage. Are you kidding me? So I was like, no, for now, I just want my body to heal. I just want to feel normal in myself. I just want to feel normal, and when I am in the right place and I feel I'm in the right mind, I can do it again, and I can do it by myself or if I've got a new partner at the time. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be in a good place. I'm grateful to God. I'm hoping things go well with me and my body and myself, and that's all that's important to me. Anything outside that is all in God's hands. So thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Keep spreading my channel, keep spreading my YouTube, keep spreading my platform. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and thank you once again. So here is Vulnerable Moments with Elizabeth. Cheers. Bye.